All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Madrid. And we've got Andreeva taking on Fernandez. Banger matchup. Very exciting to see how this one plays. Quarterfinals. So we're getting to the serious stuff now between these two ladies and also on the WTA. Andreeva lucky to be here. She got through yesterday in a very tough 3 setup. And Fernandez has just been great the last couple of weeks on the clay. 1-1 is the head-to-head. They actually did play, haven't played for a while, but they did play on clay in Madrid in 23. And it was the first round. Andreeva got the win. So it's been a while, but here we are. How are we, Chad? Are we ready? All right. Zverev has to play round 4 and quarterfinals on the same day if he wins. Not on the same day. He plays today, 4th round, tomorrow, quarterfinals. But everybody has that draw. Everybody has to play 2 matches in a row, in two matches in 2 days at some point. That's just how it works. It's not weird. I mean, he played 3 or 4 matches in a row in Monte Carlo. We didn't even blink. I don't know why I feel like this could be a long and ugly match. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Andreeva in 3, but not surprised if Leylah wins. Yeah, I don't know if it's an upset if she wins, right? I think it's pretty much... Is it a 50-50 or not? No, it's... Andreeva's the favorite, which is... I mean, not surprising, but... Andreeva is the favorite. I don't know, though. I feel like... Fernandez could definitely win. Like, I don't think that's a... It wouldn't be a upset of the year if she won. Sinner criticized the scheduling of the tournament, playing 2 matches starting 20 hours despite him not being one suffering from 1 a.m. finishes. I like that. Yeah, but... I feel I don't see the one, they can't schedule it any other way, right? Otherwise people are going to be arms up when they're like, "Oh, well, one of the finalists had to play yesterday and the other one played 3 days ago." Like, they're going to have to... Okay, so the way the schedule works to make it fair, right? Is that when the 4th round is all combined, the guys and the ladies who play in the 4th round are all combined. The guys and ladies who play the day before in their 3rd round then get the day off. They play the 2nd quarterfinal day, right? So they alternate, and then you've got 3rd round of the men or the ladies, 4th round next day. But then the day after is a day off for those people. And the other way, it's if you play the 3rd round and you get a day off before the 4th round, then you play 4th round quarterfinals. And the only way that's the only way they can do it to make it fair. That in the middle of the tournament, you play 2 days in a row. But the thing is, complaining about playing 2 days in a row is silly because every other week you play 2 days in a row. Like Monte Carlo, they were playing 3 days in a row with no complaints. Like, nobody was complaining about the schedule of Monte Carlo being like, wait a second, I've got to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday? That's crazy. Like, nobody was complaining because that's normal. So criticizing the schedule for being 2 days in a row in this tournament doesn't seem right. because that's not unusual to do. You play 2 matches within 24 hours in other tournaments. So it's like, why is that the criticism? The criticism should be, we go from playing, 1 match every other day and then all of a sudden 2 in a day or 2 in 2 days. Like the criticism should be on 2-week masters somehow, right? But I don't know if that's the way you criticize it, by saying we have to play 2 days in a row in the middle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no other way they could do it makes it fair. That's the problem, though. Think of a better solution. He was talking about the matches in the last days. There is no reason for the schedule of them late. Oh, he's talking about the schedule being late. Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying, okay. So I read that wrong. I thought you were saying playing 2 matches within 24 hours. You're saying finishing a match at 1 a.m. and then playing a match on that same day. Okay, I'm getting confused. I thought you meant like within 24 hours. Like somebody played yesterday and somebody plays today and it's 24 hours. Okay, you're saying literally finishing at 1 a.m. is the problem. Yeah, but they can change that by starting earlier. But that's just not how Spain operate. Spain have their own timelines. My bad. I thought you were reading, I thought you were saying that like playing 2 matches in 2 days within, anyways, whatever. Yeah, I agree. They should start earlier, for sure. All right. Who you got winning this one, chat? I'm going to go Andreeva in a close 3-setter. All right, 15 love. Fernandez serving. As a return goes in the net from Andreeva. 30 love. Fernandez in 3. Andreeva in 3. Leylah in 3. All right, Fernandez serves again. Fault, second serve. Serving to the backhand of Andreeva. Forehand now from Fernandez. To the backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez backhand to the forehand of Andreeva. Getting the backhand of Fernandez. Drop shots in the net by Fernandez. 30-15. Zachman.
Go Pies 77 points. Better luck next time.
Yeah, you do a victory celebration because you beat us this year. Whoop-de-doo. Thank you for the donation. Oh, you beat us by 77. Congrats. I hope you must be so happy that you beat Essendon in 2026. That's so cool. Throw a parade. 30-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Fernandez. Backhand now from Andreeva to the backhand of Fernandez. Andreeva forehand on the stretch. In the net. 40-15. Fernandez dad / coach in the house. (40-15). Return goes out by Andreeva, and it's 1-love Fernandez. All right. (1-0 Fernandez. Fernandez and Andreeva are about even. Match should be good. Yeah, I hope so. Andreeva, by the way, has had a great career in 1000. She's won a hell of a lot more than she's lost. All right, return goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Back in now from... So forehand now from Fernandez, the winner. There's love 15. Great shot. She comes to the net and puts away the forehand on Andreeva. 15-all. As Andreeva serves again. Into the backhand of Fernandez. Backhand of Andreeva to the forehand of Fernandez. And Fernandez puts it away. 15-30. $15-30. As the return goes forward from Andreeva. Andreeva hits it out. 15-40. Fernandez to get the early break here. 15-40. All right, as that goes out in the return from Fernandez, 30-40. Lehechka breaks. Ooh. All right, 30-40. As Andreeva serves a fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Fernandez. Forehand from Andreeva to the back of Fernandez. Andreeva with a forehand again to the back of Fernandez. Sliced. To the back of Andreeva. Fernandez forehand lob. Andreeva with a forehand cross court. Slice from Fernandez goes... Oh, it was going wide, but Andreeva hit it. Luckily for a winner. Deuce. That was a risky shot. Andreeva... that was going wide. That was definitely going wide, and Andreeva hit it anyway. Luckily, she hit a winner. Jeez. She would have lost it had she have missed that. All right, deuce. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As a return goes into the forehand of Andreeva up the line of the forehand of Fernandez. Andreeva backhand. Into the backhand of Fernandez. Into that Andreeva forehand. Fernandez backhand again. Andreeva forehand slice. In the net. Advantage Fernandez. Advantage Fernandez. Advantage Fernandez. As the return goes out. And we get back to deuce. As we get to advantage Andreeva. As we're forehand now from Fernandez into the forehand of Andreeva, up the line and wide by Andreeva. And we get back to deuce. Now his advantage, Fernandez, break point. As it'll fold again from Andreeva, second serve. As that goes out in the return from Fernandez, and we get back to deuce. Back to deuce. As Andreeva says another fault, second serve. Serve in the back of Fernandez. Return goes long. And it's advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva as she serves again. We're going to fault second serve. Serve from the back end of Fernandez. Forehand from Andreeva. As a Fernandez at the back end goes long. And it's 1-1. Why, in your opinion, is the 90s very common for top players like Sampras not to be able to be good on clay? But since the big three, almost all players play good on all surfaces. That is a great question. I think the obvious thing is style, right? Game style. Sampras serve volleying. Not that serve volleys couldn't win the French. But Sampras' game, being a serve and volley player, relying on fast courts, right? Wimbledon was fast. He used to dominate. Indoor, like on the carpet, he was great. You know, I think that. So with the serve volley, right, especially Sampras' serve, which was his weapon, right? We all know that on clay, big servers get nerfed, right? So I think that's the biggest thing. Whereas Federer, Nadal, Djokovic didn't. Their serve. I know Federer's serve was very important to him, but they also had other weapons, right? He wasn't just a server. I mean, look at guys from even the guys now that are big servers struggle on clay. The ones that need free points for serves don't get those on clay, right? Especially in the 90s as well, where Agassi and those kind of baseline grinders, like Courier, right? Those baseliners were starting to become more and more apparent. But also probably being from America, right? I mean, we know that on the men's side especially, that Americans do not do well on clay. It's just, looking over the history of America is probably the most accomplished nation in tennis, right? From the start of tennis to now, right? But clay is definitely a weakness and I know people are going to be like, but what about Chang? Okay, what about Courier? Yeah, okay. But what about Roddick, right? What about Sampras, right? What about all those great players that never really got going on clay, right? So I think also the Sampras would not have played on clay much when he was growing up, as well. So yeah, whereas the big three are all European, right? Rafa was born on the clay. Federer was much better on clay. Like, he was not much better on clay, but he was growing up on clay early days, right? Djokovic the same. He would have been having a lot of access to clay courts, right? Being in Europe. So, yeah. I think that also adds to it. There's a lot of other reasons, right? You can go into, like, you know, the technology of rackets has changed, blah, blah, blah. You know, the court speeds have changed, you know, to be more of, you know, baseline friendly than whatever. You know, like, there's a lot of different reasons. But I think that's probably the main reason. Also, something that we don't talk about enough is that winning all 4 slams, yeah, okay, it was always going to be a goal, but it wasn't like a necessity. Like, you didn't have to win all the 4. Like, Sampras was the greatest of all time because he won 14 slams, not because he won all the slams. You know what I mean? So, like, winning all 4, and plus, before the big 3, winning all 4 slams was only done by a few players. Like, it was done by Agassi. It was done by, you know, Rod Laver, obviously. Like, it wasn't a common thing that, like, McEnroe and Becker and Connors and all the greats had done. It wasn't like something to tick off. It's only been the big 3 that have done it that you're like, oh, that, and now Alcaraz, that you're like, oh, that you have to do that to be considered great. You know, Sampras was great without having to win the French because of he won 14, right? 14 was more important than winning all 4, right? So maybe the shift of, like, you know, what we think is important as fans to, like, you know, for someone's legacy. But, like, no one's saying that what Sampras' 14 is not as good as Agassi's, you know, is worse than Agassi winning all 4, right? When we compare the two, we always go, well, Sampras was better. Sampras was higher up on the GOAT list, right? All that stuff. But yeah, I think those kind of things have all, you know, but now it's like, yeah, you know, the expectation of winning all 4. Like, no one's thinking that Sinner needs to win 20. We're like, oh, he needs to win the French to cover the 4. You're like, okay, well, that was never I don't remember that really. Even when Federer, Nadal, Djokovic was starting, like, Federer winning all 4, like, when he won the French, it was like, oh, that's a big deal. But no one really put pressure on Rafa to win all 4 slams when he was dominating Roland Garros. We're like, oh, he's great on this surface. We weren't thinking, he's got to win Wimbledon, though. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Like, nobody cared, you know? So I think it's probably a culmination of all of those things. But also the difference of surface back in those days too, right? I mean, there was a massive difference between clay and grass. Like, you know, playing on grass, you know, and Sampras' game was so attuned to that surface, that fast surface, that, you know, when you go on the super slow surface of clay compared to the super quick grass courts, it was so different that, you know, he would have had to have a completely different game style to kind of combat that. Whereas now, you know, going from clay to grass, it's always going to be a change, but we're seeing so many more players now that they can just use a lot of what they do on clay. They can use that, you know, the defense, you know, because the grass courts aren't as quick. So they can defend better. They can rally more. You know, the courts are, you know, are better for, you know, players like Alcaraz because, you know, he has, you know, whereas Sampras, like, grinding on the baseline, yeah, he could definitely hit, you know, on the baseline with everybody, but, you know, grinding out the rallies and trying to construct points from there wasn't his thing. His thing was serve and finish the point of the net, right? Clay doesn't really help those guys. So yeah, so probably a culmination of all those things. Love 30, by the way. Great question, though. Also, if you remember, if you don't know, Wimbledon in 2002, 2001 to 2002, they changed their grass, which made everything a little bit slower. That was the pivotal moment at Wimbledon that went from the 2001 Wimbledon final between Rafter and Ivanisevic, serve and volleys, massive, you know, lots of aces, to the Hewitt Nalbandian. I mean, it was the strangest change. I mean, it was almost, it felt more like a surface change. Like, you go, oh, what did Wimbledon go to, like, clay courts or something? Like, it went from such a big switch. And I can't remember exactly, as Andreeva gets broken 3-1. Yeah, it almost felt like, going from, like, Australian Open grass to Australian Open hard courts, right? That Wimbledon change, because everything after that changed. After that, no serve volleyer, I don't even think a serve volleyer made the final of Wimbledon. You know, Federer is not a serve volleyer, not in the true sense of what I'm talking about. Not like a rafter, not like a Sampras, right? He can serve and volley, but it's not his. You know, he wasn't a serve volleyer. But yeah, like that changed everything. That 2002, grass court change. There was a great video I saw. I can't remember who did it though. But like it talks about the change of the grass. Oh yeah, so they changed it from 70% rye to 100% perennial rye grass. So I don't know what that all means. I'm not a horticulturist, but yeah, the change in that change, making it more, going from one thing to another, different grass, meant that the grass would be, it says here, increased durability, created a higher and more consistent bounce, and slightly slowed down the courts to promote longer rallies. That was the change from 2001 to 2002. But we didn't realize at the time how massive of a change that was. Imagine they hadn't changed. Who would have won 2002? Who would Federer? Would Roddick have won 2003 because of the way he served against Federer, or would it have taken Federer a little bit longer to win Wimbledon had that change not happened? We don't talk about that, do we? Because we all just think, well, Federer was going to win 2003 no matter what. Was he though? I mean, we still had, Philippoussis in the final. You had, Roddick in the semis for Federer. But like, would Roddick have won 2003, 2004 had they have kept the 2001 grass, where it favored guys with massive serves? And yeah, Roddick wasn't serve volley, but his serve might have been even harder to get back for Roger back then. We'll never know. Love 30. Chance for Andreeva to get back on serve here. As we have a forehand now to the backhand of Andreeva. Backhand winner there from Fernandez. And it's 15-30. But yeah, fascinating times. Pliskova made the final of Wimbledon. She didn't win Wimbledon. She made the final. By the way, everything I'm saying is based on men's tennis. I'm not talking about the ladies. Ladies' tennis is just a whole different ball game, right? There's a whole different set of things to explain. It doesn't apply directly to the ladies as well. Like that, they've got different games. They play different style. This is only for the on the ATP side. I've got a backhand return. Backhand, goes wide by Andreeva 30. Oh, because if I look back at 2001 Wimbledon for the ladies, and who won 2001 Wimbledon for the ladies, and then 2002. So Venus beat Ennen in the final of 2001, and then in 2002 Serena beat Venus. So there didn't seem like a massive change. Also, Ennen, the finalist of 01, made the semis of 02. So it would have been different had Venus have won, or like Davenport had won 2001. And then Ennen had won 2002, right? Because Ennen was more, baseline, shorter player, less serve heavy, clay court, preferred, right? It would have been a more stark contrast had it gone from Venus versus Davenport to like, Ennen versus, I don't know, who's a clay, like Dementieva maybe, I don't know. Like if that was the final in 2002, it would have been like, whoa, what? So it didn't affect the ladies comp that much. Like we didn't have that like shock of like, hang on a second, last year was this and now this is totally different game, Anyways, back to this match because it's happening. 40-30. As we're at 40-30. Who's to say we would have even had the same finals? Yeah, I mean, Tim Henman might have made the final if, we're going with serve volleys. Maybe he had a better chance had the grass had not changed. He might have been able to take out Roddick or Federer to take their spot. That's a big if, but Forehand now off the tape from Andreeva goes into the net, and it's 4-1 on Fernandez. Good start from Leylah. Hey, Polar, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Welcome. All right. By the way, Chad, I didn't even realize that Mortal Kombat 2 comes out next week. I'm going to have to watch it. Going to have to go see that movie. He said he's looking to break back. Okay. All right. Okay. For one. One breaker serve. Let's see if Andreeva can hold here and keep it close. All right, return goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva in the net. Love 15. All right, so 4-3 on Lehechka so far against Musetti. I tell you, chat, as somebody who doesn't have Musetti in their team, I wouldn't mind if Musetti lost today. I would not be mad. It means that I can pick him up cheap next week, and his value wouldn't increase too much for me to not be able to afford him. 15-0. By the way, chat, I'm on 1,250 points. Is anybody else on more or less? Or how many points has your team made so far this week? 15-0. I need Rude to win, and I need Cerundolo to win today. And Zverev tonight. All right, 15-0. We're backing up the line and wide by Fernandez, 30-15. Lehechka holds from love 40 down. Wow. Yuri will win. Okay. I'm on 1,210. Nice. All right, 15-30. 1,336. Damn. 1,248. Nice. As we're backing up the line to the forehand, the backhand of Fernandez. Forehand from Andreeva up the line is a winner, and it's 40-15. My point is even after a minus 100 deduction, which is wild. Yeah, I'm looking at my team and I'm like, who could I have gotten rid of? I mean, I probably could have gotten rid of Echeverry for Hodar, but then I would have had friendly fire with Fonseca anyway. So the reason I kept Echeverry, even though I knew he was going to play Feast, is because I thought, well, if they play each other, I'm getting a quarterfinalist. So I'm happy to take Echeverry with 120 points. He's done well. I think that's his best score so far. So I'm like, you know what? From somebody who was in my team at the start, you did well. I'm going to reset my team next week anyway. He probably won't feature, but he's been a good team player, Echeverry. From the start, he's averaging decent scores. He's around that 80 to 90 average. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And this week he did his job. Feast gets to the quarters too. He's got more points, which is great. But yeah, I think Echeverry and Zverev are on the chopping block next week. I just need to free up the cash for Zverev. Love 15. Fernandez with a 4-2 lead. And I want Musetti. And I want... if Hodar loses today, I might get Hodar too, because he's kind of still cheap. He is kind of still cheap, though. Yeah, Echeverry's been solid. Yeah, the only problem is Echeverry can't go up. He can only go down. So I'm a little bit like, you know what? He was never going to be the guy that I was going to keep forever. So I'm like, you know, I need to, like, switch it up. I mean, even going from Echeverry to Tsitsipas, seeing that Steph is so cheap, might be the play. And then I can free up five coins. I'm got to make a call on Fonseca, though, because I'm a little scared. Not that I'm scared from one match, because he's been great. You know, he's been great for months, but if Fonseca gets a bad draw in Rome, I might have to get rid of him. Because I can't really afford to have, Fonseca's draw, if he gets a tough draw in the next one, I'm a little worried. I love 30. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Fernandez. Backhand now from Andreeva. As Fernandez forehand to the forehand of Andreeva. Again to the slice of Fernandez, but the Fernandez slice goes wide, and it's love 40. To get back on serve. I kind of want Musetti to lose, so then I can pick him up next week. I'm the same, Gene. I'm the same. I'm like, if Musetti does lose today, then he will be cheap for next week. And there's no way Musetti's going to get any cheaper than that, unless he completely falls off. Like 15 coins right now. I mean, even if he wins today, I'm like, do you get him before he overtakes Medvedev? Nah, because I need to make the call next week of like the swing switch. I don't know. Anyways, Andreeva breaks back. It's all too much. There's too many decisions. All right. I've also got to make the call. Do I put Sinner on the bench the week before the French? Because I don't think selling him is worth getting. I mean, selling him for Zverev and then bringing him back for the French. Maybe? I don't know. Or do I just bench him because he's not going to he's going to make no points anyway and the alternates are on the bench anyway. And then just bring him back on and save the trade? And then have an extra trade for the French? I don't know. That might be my play. Try and not make a trade if I don't have to. I should have benched Sinner last week in Barcelona instead of trading for Alcaraz, but then trading him for Zverev, but then trading in anyways, whatever. I should have Hodar 3 weeks ago. I should have had Vachereau. There's a lot of I would have been winning this whole thing. Musetti looking low energy. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, Lehechko won the first set 6-3. It's better to use a swing switch for grass, no? You get a new one though. So at the end of the way that the chips work is that if you go to standings or go to leagues, you can see it says clay season swing, grass season swing, hard court swing, race to the finals. After every swing, they reset. So you can use that chip again. You'll get it back. So it's not one and done. So once the grass starts, you get all those back and you can use them again for the grass. And then after the grass, you can use them again. So yeah, it's not just one for the season. That would be crazy. But also maybe if you had like 3 each for the season and you could use them like as many times as you want if you have 3, we'll use them whenever you want. But yeah, love 15. Sorry, 15 love. If we had only one for the whole season, we would be finished. Yeah, that would make the game so tricky. Like, it would be intense. Like, you'd be getting zeros every week. You'd be getting, like, somebody on your field would be getting a zero. I mean, if you made a bad team and then you did a swing switch and you made a bad team and everyone got injured, Jesus, you'd be out for months. But also, like, I think if that was the case, people would not play, right? It would deter people because it would be too hard. So you got to make it like the swing switch is great because it gives people a second chance to go, okay, my team stinks, I need to restart. Whereas if it wasn't available, then a lot of people would have just been like, my team sucks, I'm not playing. Yeah, so you gotta, like, there's that balance, right? They gotta keep people in it, you know. I mean, I can't be just sitting here doing all the bloody work. I'm not even getting paid for it. I mean, Dommy made his team and he bounced. Where the hell's Dominic's team? His team is the worst. He's still got Alcaraz. How is that even possible? Alcaraz as the team captain too. I mean, what are you doing, Dommy? Crazy. Even the guys at Nothing Major still have Alcaraz on their team. Their team is brutal. I mean, they were like, hey, I love fantasy sports. Do ya? No, you know what? I think they all have secret teams. I reckon they've got secret teams. I reckon John Isner, Sam Querrey's probably got better things to do, but I reckon John Isner and Steve Johnson both have their separate teams. They have their own team. They got like the Nothing Major team, right? That's the team that like they put together on the podcast. But I reckon like Stevie and John are just like they've got their own special team in the background. I reckon they're playing it seriously on the sly, and they haven't told anybody what their team names are because you know they're gonna at the end of the season they'll be like, yeah, I came third, and you'll be like, what? It was him the whole time. I don't know what we're waiting for, by the way. I think it might be someone in the crowd. Players are going to sit down. Yeah, someone in the crowd. I think something's happened. So we're just waiting for that to get sorted. Yeah, so the players are talking to their coaches. By the way, I think Fernandez has brought back her old fitness coach. I think. Maybe, I'm not sure. Something's happened in the crowd. That's what we're waiting. We're just waiting for that to get sorted. I think it's something in the crowd. It's either that or it's some technical difficulties. I just need a fantasy team for WTA. Yeah, maybe soon. Maybe one day. Is your dog or wife snoring? My wife went out to get eggs. It's my dog. Musetti, by the way, is down a set and 1-0. Ooh. Everything looks fancy and in black and white. Players are back on court. Anyways, we're back on court. 15 love. Andreeva forehand to the forehand of Fernandez. Andreeva with a backhand on the stretch. Fernandez cross backhand winner. 15-0. As Andreeva serves again. I think you're right. She got her own old fitness coach back. Yeah, I think so. Because he was in the box, like, going crazy when she was at the French Open, right? I was sorry, at the US Open when she made the final. I can remember him being there. And he's like been on other teams before. Since then. So I think he's back, right? Anyways, Fernandez with a winner, 15-30. You're slightly overexposed, am I? Is that better? All right. As Andreeva serves a 5-second serve. As Fernandez goes up the line for a winner, 15-40. A chance to break. A chance to break back. As a break again and lead again, 30-40. Good serve though from Andreeva. 30-40. How is Leylah's clay court record? It's pretty good. She's decent on clay. As we're backing up the line into the slice of Fernandez. And Andreeva puts away the drive volley, and we get the deuce. Yeah, she's decent on the clay. Her career record is 43 wins, 39 losses. Last year wasn't great, but she's probably a 50-50 on clay. But this year, 6 wins, 2 losses. So this year she's really thriving. But if I look at her results on the clay in recent times, she's lost to players like Jabeur on clay, Kostyuk, Sloane Stephens. The run at the French Open was great, where she lost to Trevisan in the end. She lost to Badosa. She's lost to Keys on clay before. But this year she's lost to Raducanu and Schneider on the clay. But yeah, as Andreeva holds 4-0. But yeah, I would look. She's 43 wins, 39 losses. Last year lost to Danilovic first round, who was the highest unseeded player in the draw. Parry at Strasbourg. She lost to Lee in Madrid. Kerber at the Olympics. Jabeur at Roland Garros 24. So, yeah. But I think with that quarterfinal run at the French a couple of years ago, that really showed she can, clay is a surface she can do well on. But she just hasn't been able to put it together in a full in one season, and because of injuries or because of just either bad draws or maybe a lack of matches. But this year, she's clearly figured something out on the clay and having the best clay season out of the bunch. Muguruza in the house, 15 love for Fernandez. So yeah. All right, as we default, second serve. Second serve. As a return goes into the back, and Fernandez up the line is a winner from Fernandez, 30 love. $30 love. Serve again. There's a fault, second serve. Serve to the back end of Andreeva. Forehand from Fernandez. As Andreeva goes to the back end of Fernandez. Drop shot's good. Andreeva gets there with a slice. Drop shot back, but it's wide. And it's 40 love. Fernandez should have beaten Raducanu in Stuttgart. That would have given her confidence, though. That gave her confidence, though. Yeah. Yeah, she should have won, but still, like, I mean, today, if she wins, this is going to give her just as much confidence. All right, 40 love. Serve to the forehand of Andreeva. Return the back into Fernandez. Andreeva forehand into the forehand of Fernandez. Sliced and long, and it's 40-15. Lehechka beating Musetti is no surprise in these conditions. Yeah, I agree. So Lehechka's up 2-1 in the second against Musetti. Uh, 40-15. As we serve again from Fernandez. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez backhand to the forehand of Andreeva. As Fernandez forehand again to the backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez backhand cross court is a winner. Fernandez stays in front. 5-4. First set. Whoa. Those lights are bright. Why do I look like I'm in a hospital or a haunted waiting room? If I move that, is that better or worse? Oh, that's better. I can see. The lights aren't blinding me. All right. Cool. Lehechka beating... I'm glad I bought in Lehechka for this week. I knew he could do damage. Yeah, that's a great pickup. Where is Lehechka actually in the... So he's 12. He's gone up one. I mean, Lehechka's also a different point as well because he's only owned by 13% of teams. So he's not even that, like... He's not even... like, not many teams have him, so definitely a difference maker. Rude or Tsitsipas? I think Rude in 3. I think Rude's going to grind out Steph in 3. Great matchup, though. All right, serve again. To stay in this... to stay in this set as the slice goes to the net by Andreeva. And it's love 15. As we're forehand now to the backhand of Fernandez. Backhand now from Andreeva to the forehand of Fernandez. Fernandez in the net. 15 all. Have you seen the Tennis Insights? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that earlier. 15 all. Steph's going to have to serve well to beat Rude. 30-15. Yeah. And Rude's just going to have to pick on the backhand. Interesting that Rude's backhand's at a 9.2 though. That is interesting. Is that so? Let me have a look. 40-15 on Andreeva. Yeah, Rude's backhand is usually at a 7.5. So his backhand this week has been way better than his average. It's tricky too because based on this, as much I love, obviously love using and talking about shot quality and stuff because I think it's such a great and easy way to understand what's going on. But you got to also remember that this is based on 2 matches, right? So Tsitsipas played 3 matches. Rude's played 2 matches, and he's dominated those 2 matches. So Rude's backhand at a 9.2 in 2 matches. So he's been hitting his backhand really well against Fekina, against Munar, right? So it's a little bit that. That's a lot. That's very high. It's maybe a little too high, right? Whereas Rude's backhand's usually 7.5. So I think the backhand's a little bit misleading. The forehand for sure is an 8.8. He's been forehand crazy. And Steph's serve is being great. We saw that against Bublik. But yeah, I think the backhand being 9.2 to a 6.0 is very really harsh on Tsitsipas, but also very generous to Rude. And it's only been 2 matches. So it's maybe it's because he's had 2 matches where he's hit really good backhands. I think the better, it would be really cool to see the clay season in general, up until now, to go, okay, well, what's Rude's backhand be on the clay, not just in this week, because this week he's obviously hitting amazing backhands. But also Munar and Fekina are they're not big servers, right? So Steph's serve to Rude's backhand is going to be a lot different and harder for Rude to maintain a 9.2 than if he was playing Fekina, right? Yeah, so I would love to know, and maybe I can find out for everybody, what Rude's backhand's average has been over the clay season. That'd be cool. And I will find out right now, because I can. For now. I can right now. All right, love 30, by the way. Andreeva might steal this set. Let me have a look. So what's his backhand... Yeah, so his backhand average on the clay, so the whole clay season so far, is at a 7.8. That sounds it's still better than his average, but that sounds a bit more realistic. A 7.8 for his that goes from Monte Carlo to now. So that's more realistic, a 7.8, which is still better than his average. He's still hitting better backhands than normal. All right, love 30. There's a forehand now from Andreeva in the backhand of Fernandez. Andreeva forehand at the line. Fernandez hits it back with a forehand. Andreeva comes in. Up goes a lob again from Fernandez, but it's going to go short, and Andreeva's going to put away the smash. Love 40. All right, love 40. All right, love 40. Great hitting from Andreeva. All of a sudden, she has a chance to take the break and lead. Return goes into the corner. Fernandez up the line as a winner. One save, 15-40. Still break point here for Andreeva. As the return goes in the back of Fernandez. Andreeva forehand into the back of Fernandez. Andreeva slice into the front of Fernandez. And Fernandez hits another winner. She saves two. 30-40. 30-40. There's a bit of fault from Fernandez. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez forehand again to the backhand of Andreeva. Up the line to the backhand of Fernandez. Andreeva forehand. Again to the backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez, sorry. Andreeva backhand again. The backhand of Fernandez. Fernandez hits the line on a cross-court backhand. And we get to deuce, and Andreeva's starting to yell and scream. Andreeva's starting to get angry. All right. Yeah, she is not happy. Andreeva having a bit of a chat to the coaches then. I tell you, from love 40 to not break, the next game is going to be tough for Andreeva. Racket could be thrown. First serve's a fault. Second serve. All right, as that goes out by Fernandez, advantage on Andreeva. All right, break point again for Andreeva to break and serve at the set. As the return goes in front of Fernandez. Front of Andreeva. Goes long and we're back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. All right, advantage Fernandez. Advantage Fernandez. Serve again. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Lob goes up. And Fernandez comes in. Puts it away, all right. Fernandez from love 40 takes the game. And she leads 6-5. Now this is going to be a really big game for Andreeva. This is going to be a really tough game for Andreeva. All right. Good hold. Very tough hold. I fear if Mirra gets broken here, she's going to have a meltdown. Yeah. I'll tell you, though, to her credit, even when she does seem like she's completely lost it, she has come back more this year than she usually would. She doesn't always win those matches, but I remember last year and even like the last few seasons, she'd lose the set in a close fashion like this, and then the second set she'd be like, she just completely check out. So she hasn't been doing that as much this year, and sometimes she's turned it around. Like she has lost a heartbreaking set, thrown a racket, and then like somehow we're into a final set, like 5-all, right? Or 4-all final set. So she has been able to like do that. So if she doesn't win this set, it doesn't mean she's going to get completely smoked in the second, but obviously it would be a real... These first few points are really important. If Fernandez gets to love 30, Andreeva's racket might be going on a flight. All right, here we go. Andreeva serves. Into the back of Fernandez. Return goes in the back of Andreeva. Fernandez wins the first point. It's love 15. Oh, no. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. All right, love 30. Andreeva in big trouble now. Uh-oh. The racket still hasn't gone for a holiday. Love 30. Here we go again. Serve out wide the back of Fernandez. Slice goes in. Andreeva with a volley winner. 15-30. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Fernandez. Return goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Fernandez, oh, gets the point! Andreeva hits it in the net. We got 15-40. Andreeva in big trouble. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. Serving to the back of Fernandez. Return to the front of Andreeva. Up the line is good, but Fernandez slices it back. Andreeva backing up the line. Fernandez with a lob. Goes out. 30-40, one saved. All right, 30-40. Still break point. As the return goes in the set point, it was going to backhand slice from Fernandez. Andreeva forehand to the back of Fernandez. And Fernandez hits it out. We get the deuce. All right, she's kept her cool. And we get the deuce. All right, is Fernandez. Can't get that one. Andreeva puts it away. Nice from Andreeva. To get to the tiebreak. It's been a forehand from Fernandez in the back of Andreeva. Andreeva in the net. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. As Andreeva serves a fault. Second serve. Double fault. All right, advantage Fernandez. Set point again. To take the first set. First serve's a fault. Second serve. As a return goes in, the forehand of Andreeva. A forehand from Fernandez. The backhand of Andreeva. As Fernandez forehand to the forehand now of Andreeva. Now to the backhand of Fernandez. And Fernandez hits it out. Back to deuce. 3-set point saved. All right, back to deuce. As we get a forehand on the stretch from Fernandez. Lob goes up. Lands in. Andreeva hits a forehand. As we're backing now from Fernandez, the forehand of Andreeva. Backing now Fernandez into the net. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva to take take us to a tiebreak. We have a fault. Second serve. As the return goes back into Andreeva. Backing out Fernandez. Into the net. All right, tiebreak. 3-set points have been saved. Here we go. Can Andreeva steal the set? Because she's been down the entire time. Who you got winning the tiebreak? Chat, let me know. Who you got? Who have you got? Andreeva, Fernandez. 62 minutes and a tiebreak. Yep, it's been a long set as Fernandez hits it long. Hey! Chash, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. I know I butchered your name, but I'm sorry. Thank you for becoming a member. All right. 1-love Andreeva. And a great serve on Andreeva, 2-love. As Andreeva, 3-love. Good start. Very solid start. 3-love. All right. As that goes out by Andreeva, and it's 3-1. Fernandez on the board. All right, 3-1. Andreeva. So Lehechka got the win, straight sets. Wow. Huge win for Lehechka. Straight sets against Musetti on a clay court. It's huge. All right, Andreeva 4-1. Andreeva with the double mini break now. As Andreeva 5-1, they change ends. Remember, Andreeva has already saved 3 set points. All right. All right, by the way, we do have Tsitsipas and Rude coming up as well. So we're going to have to do a double header for that. That's fine. The schedule is stacked today. 5-1 Andreeva. We get a fault second serve. As we get a 4-0 from Fernandez. Andreeva on the stretch. Fernandez comes in. And the lob goes up, but Fernandez can't get it. And it's 6-1 Andreeva. 5 set points for Mirra Andreeva to take the first set. She has dominated this tiebreak. All right, but Fernandez is going to serve. As a return goes in from Andreeva into the forehand of Fernandez. Andreeva backhand. As Fernandez forehand goes wide. Andreeva takes the set. What a fight back. She was down multiple times in that first set. She was down 3 set points as well. But somehow finds a way. Dominates the tiebreak. All right. First set in the bag. First set, 18 winners, 20 errors by Andreeva. 16 winners, 22 errors from Fernandez. Both had so many break chances. Only 2 breaks in the whole set. But 10 break points for Fernandez, only 1 converted. And 5 break points for Andreeva, only 1 converted. So, a lot of opportunities, not many breaks. And, yeah. That was a long first set, but we kind of expected this match to be a bit of a marathon. All right. And that's the start of it. Yeah, we've got Rude Tsitsipas coming up as well, so we've got a double header to do, but that's all right. The schedule was always going to be a little sketchy because of the timing of things, but we have to watch Rude Tsitsipas. That just feels like it should be a final. It was a final. Remember? A couple of years ago, it was Monte Carlo in back-to-back finals. Barcelona, Monte Carlo final. All right, what's going on? Welcome. We have Rude and Tsitsipas coming up. We've also got Fernandez Andreeva. They've just played a first set marathon tiebreak, or marathon to get to the tiebreak. And now, Andreeva's up a set against Fernandez. And yeah, Rude Tsitsipas is happening in about 5-10 minutes. But yeah, it's a big day. We've got so much tennis going on. Quarterfinals for the ladies. 4th round for all the men's matches. Winner of this match will take on the winner of the Sabalenka-Baptiste match, which is coming up tonight. We've also got, on the men's side of things, Ruud Tsitsipas. Winner plays the winner of Cerundolo Blocked, who are playing later. Already got Musetti Fils and Sinner into the quarterfinals tomorrow. We're just waiting for Kopriva and Hodar to play, who are playing after this, to see who plays Sinner. All right, here we go. 15-all. Andreeva serving first in the second. All right, 15-all. Sorry, 15-30. That goes out by Fernandez. And it's 30-all. There's a bit of forehand lob. Nope. The approach was out by Fernandez for Andreeva, and it's 30-40. All right, here we go. Serve again. As the return goes in the backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez up the line. Andreeva with the lob. And the lob goes in. Forehand from Fernandez into the backhand of Andreeva. Lob again. Goes long. All right, and there is the break. Ruud Tsitsipas about to walk out on court. Fernandez breaks. First game of the second. Is Goran coaching Fils? Yeah. Casper, great form recently. Yeah, well, he's been injured recently, but he's come back real strong. 1-0 Fernandez in second. All right, 1-0. There's a bit of forehand out of the backhand of Fernandez. And that goes in the net by Andreeva. 15-0. Match seems pretty close. I'm not sure why the line is so wide. I can see Stefanos doing well in these conditions. Yeah, I don't know why either. I thought it would have been 50-50. Forehand goes into the backhand slice of Fernandez. Drop shot from Andreeva is good. Fernandez comes back with a drop shot, but Andreeva gets it with a backhand pass. It's 15-0. 15-0. Lehechka Fils is intriguing. Oh, yeah, that's going to be real fun. That'll probably be first match tomorrow, I'm guessing. I think tomorrow's schedule, because it's going to be only quarterfinals, right? Or like half the quarterfinals. So we only got 4 matches on tomorrow. We're going to watch everything from the quarterfinals onwards. That's what we do. But tomorrow, I'm going to guess we're going to get first match is going to be one of the ladies' matches. So probably probably Pliskova, Potapova first, maybe. Or maybe not, because Potapova played last night, so maybe they give her more time. But either way, it'll be a ladies' match, and then it will be Lehechka versus Fils. The night match with Hodar and Sinner, obviously, a 1,000,000% night match. And then another one of the women's matches will be a night match too. So probably Kostruk, Noskova night match. Then again, Kostruk, Noskova played yesterday. So maybe they'll put Pliskova, Potapova at night just because it's fair for Potapova. I don't know. Maybe. Either way, I think the first match tomorrow, or the day session tomorrow, is probably going to be Fils versus Lehechka. The night session is Sinner. I don't even think, even if Hodar loses today, I think it's still going to be Sinner tomorrow night, right? Sinner Kapriva tomorrow night. Unless Sinner requests day session. 15:40 to get back on serve. Andreeva with a slice. Backhand from Fernandez. Andreeva slice again. Fernandez volleys. It's a winner. 30-41 saved. 30-40. All right, 30-40. Still break back point. $30-40. As Andreeva hits a return out and we get the deuce. I'll tell you, thankfully, Andreeva won that first set, because if she was down a set and a break right now, things could get ugly. All right, as that goes up the line and wide by Fernandez. Advantage on Andreeva. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Fernandez. Fernandez goes wide. And Andreeva gets back the break. 1-0. All right, forehand from Andreeva to the backhand up the line from Fernandez. Slice on Andreeva. Fernandez drop volley winner. Love 15. I want Andreeva to win here on and Roland Garros. Nice. Why are you so somber today? Am I? Love 15. As the return goes out by Fernandez. 15-0. City pass Ruda walking out on court. Is Musetti past his prime? No, he's like 22. If you passed your prime at 22, then everyone's lost. That goes out by Andreeva, and it's 15-30. Andreeva's having a lot of words. Ah, 15-30. Andreeva serves. A fault. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Fernandez. Andreeva backing up the line. Slice Fernandez. Andreeva hits a slice in the net. And she's not happy with the coaching advice. 15-40. And the coaches are all like, why is she yelling at me for? All right, return goes out by Fernandez. One save, 30-40. All right, Tsitsipas Ruud on court. One's wearing blue, one's wearing red. Which I appreciate them both wearing completely different outfits. As Andreeva, Andreeva hits it out. She gets broken. Andreeva thought about smacking the ball into the crowd, but then changed her mind, luckily. Because if she had done that, she would have got a code violation for sure. But she was like so ready to like just belt that ball into the crowd. And then she stopped and just yelled at her coach instead, which doesn't get you in trouble unless you say bad words. All right. All right. What if tennis players didn't have coaches? Would Sabalenka and Sinner be number one? Like, didn't have coaches at all? I mean, if how would you even... Every sport has coaches. Why would this... You mean coaching or coaches? Like in general? Or do you mean like not allowed to say anything during matches like the old days? How would they even know how to play tennis if they didn't have a coach? YouTube. Why is Mirra crashing out? I mean, she's obviously not feeling like she's in a good place, like in a good situation in this match, right? In the place in this match. In general, I mean, no sport. How would any sport be any way with no coaches? How would you know how to play the sport if you didn't have somebody teach you? All right, 2-1. As Fernandez with the break again. We've had 3 breaks in this set already. You think the altitude favors Tsitsipas? Maybe. Ruud is the defending champion, right? I mean, as much as we talk about Jannik Sinner will win this event, the defending champion is Casper Ruud. So, like, he should be the favorite because he is defending champion. By the way, wind is really kicked up as well, which is going to make it super awkward for everybody. Fernandez serves. And Andreeva returns the forehand to Fernandez. Fernandez hits it wide. Wow. That ball was going crazy in the wind. Love 30. Like, Fernandez hit a decent forehand, but it just got taken and thrown out wide. Yeah, the wind is really going nuts right now. Love 30. Fernandez with the serve. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Forehand of Fernandez. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Lob. The lob goes in. To the forehand of Fernandez. Andreeva backhand again. The forehand of Fernandez. Passing shots in the net. It's love 40. Is Cam's pick Steph in 3? No, it's Ruud in 3. All right, break points for Andreeva to get back on serve. As that forehand goes wide by Fernandez. 4 breaks to start the second. It's been an ugly start to the second set. All right. Back on serve, 2-2. As Andreeva on the attack, puts it away, 15 love. Nice hitting from Andreeva. All right, 30 love. As the return goes back into Andreeva. Slice from Fernandez is good. Andreeva hits it up the line. And Fernandez on the stretch hits it in the net. And it's 40 love. First serve's a fault, second serve. As a return goes out by Fernandez, and finally somebody holds. It's 3-2 Andreeva. She takes the lead. Finally somebody holds. All right, 3-2. Here we go. Ruud and Tsitsipas are about to begin. Ruud serve first. I'm going to go Ruud in 3. All right, serve again from Ruud. Into the backhand of Steph. Return goes into the forehand of Ruud. Forehand from Steph again, the forehand of Ruud. Now Steph with the backhand. Goes long. And it's love. 15 love. It's just love, chat. Everybody just have fun. We're all friends. Everybody be friendly to each other. I'm not picking Steph in 3. I'm picking Ruud in 3. 15 love. Serving the forehand of Steph. Return. Goes long. 30 love. Ruud could be tanking rest for French and Wimbledon. He wants to be competitive in majors. No. Ruud doesn't give a shit about Wimbledon. So why would he be tanking Madrid? What do you mean? That's no. No. Also, are you saying that because you bet on Steph? So you're trying to create a reason why Ruud should lose this match because he needs to be ready for Wimbledon? I feel like you're reaching with that one, but look, if you bet on Steph because he was good odds and you're you want Ruud to be ready for Wimbledon and give Steph the win, okay, fair enough, but I feel like it's a little biased. Ruud holds 1 love. But if you know anything about Ruud, he does not care about Wimbledon. Grass is for golf, all right? He ain't tanking Madrid to play on grass, unless he's tanking to play golf. All right. By the way, 1.5 hours played. Also, battle of the dads as coaches. Coaching dads. Ruud and Tsitsipas. He's in the net by Fernandez, 15-0. Tsitsipas to serve. He's been serving great this week. But he serves a fault this time. Second serve. Second serve in the backhand of Ruud. Forehand from Steph. Again, the backhand of Ruud. Steph with the forehand. Winner, cross court. All right, 15 love. Are you watching the arena game? Yeah, she's coming up in like 5 hours. But we're definitely watching Sabalenka for sure. All right, serving the backhand of Rude. Forehand from Steph. That's a winner. 30 love. As Fernandez gets to 30-15. Slice from Andreeva is good. Fernandez forehand is a winner. 40-15. Steph serving the backhand of Rude. Return goes into the forehand of Steph, who shanks the approach. 30-15. You want a Rude versus Sinner final? That'd be good. That'd be a good final. Can you imagine if Rude beats Sinner in that final, though? That would be crazy. I want a Rude Zverev semi. That would be awesome. Winner plays Sinner that would be fun. That'd be a fun combination of matches. Double fault for Fernandez, 40-30. All right, Steph serves a fault, second serve. Serving to the backhand of Rude. Serving volley from Steph, and the volley's great. All right, nice work, Cincy pass, 1-1. Solid. Fernandez holds 3-0. Three all in the second. All right. Andreeva in the net. As it gets to 15-0. So 15-30, Andreeva in trouble again. As we get a serve again. Into the forehand of Fernandez. A backhand from Andreeva again to the forehand of Fernandez, but Andreeva hit it long, 15-40. Fernandez to break again. As the return goes out by Fernandez, one saved. 30-40. As Andreeva backhand. No, that goes out on the return from Fernandez. And we get to deuce. 40-15 Rude, by the way. As he looks to take the lead again. As he serves a let. Andreeva with a beautiful lob. Up goes a lob by Fernandez, but it's not going to make it. It's going to go wide. Advantage Andreeva to go to 4-3 in the second. All right. Return goes into the net by Fernandez, and Andreeva, with a big scream, gets the 4-3 in the second. Ruud holds. He goes to 2-1 in the first set. All right, Andreeva is fired up. I tell you, Andreeva could have seriously been out already of this match because, Fernandez was solid. And she was up a break in both these sets. She's been up multiple breaks at times. But Andreeva has been, even though she looked like she's going to break rackets and throw them, she's been very clutch. Ruud would have to play Zverev in the semis? Yeah. A huge mental win for Mirra? Yeah. She's had a few of those, though, this year, where she's looked mentally out of it, and she's like I said 12 months ago, would have lost those matches. She's been really good like that. Ruud Caboli semis? Maybe. All right. 4-3 on Andreeva in the second. It's on serve still. Let's see what Fernandez can do here. And she serves a fault second serve. Serving to the backhand of Andreeva, backhand of Fernandez, and Andreeva back into the net. And it's 15 love. Uh, 15 love. As the forehand goes into the slice of Andreeva, and then Fernandez forehand goes long, 15-0. All right, 15-0. So Cincy pass at 30-15. 15-30. A chance for Andreeva to possibly get a break point here. And if she breaks, she'll serve for the match. All right, 15-30. Andreeva is looking at a second serve here. First serve missed by Fernandez. Second serve. Oh, double fault Fernandez. All right. Andreeva's got break points to break and serve for the match. $15.40. Tsitsipas hits a lovely forehand in the open court, 2-0. He levels as Fernandez forehand to the slice of Andreeva. Fernandez backhand, slice to the slice of Andreeva. Forehand of Fernandez again, the forehand of Andreeva up the line. Slice from Fernandez again. Andreeva backhand up the line to the slice of Fernandez. Andreeva backhand up the line. Winner. There's the break. 5-3. Andreeva's going to serve for the match. Yeah, Musetti lost to Lehechka this morning. So he is out. All right, Rude 15 love. All right, Andreeva serving for the match. As the return goes into the slice of Andreeva, in comes Fernandez. Andreeva with a pass. Oh, just missed. Love 15. All right, love 15. As we got a fault second serve. As the return goes in the front of Andreeva. Fernandez backhand to the front of Andreeva. Sliced. And long by Andreeva. Love 30. Love 30. Serve to the back of Fernandez. Return is shanked. Goes long. 15-30. 40 love for Rude, by the way. As he looks to get the lead back. 15-30. Serving to the forehand of Fernandez. Return goes backhand of Andreeva. Fernandez up the line forehand. Slice from Andreeva goes in. Fernandez slice backhand. Andreeva pass is a winner. 30-all. 2 points away, Andreeva. This would be a great win too because, like I said multiple times, she has been in trouble. But she's been able to get out of it. And then she serves out wide. Return goes short. The volley's too good from Andreeva. And she's got match point to make the semifinals of Madrid. And to wait to see who she plays between Baptiste and Sabalenka, who are playing tonight. All right, Andreeva serves. A fault. Second serve. Serving to the front of Fernandez. Backhand goes in from Andreeva to the front of Fernandez. Andreeva slice. Fernandez comes in with the backhand and hits a lovely drop shot winner. We get the deuce. All right, lovely drop shot from Fernandez. Deuce. Rude 3-2, by the way. Yeah, Musetti lost. He lost to Lehechka in straight sets. All right, serving the back of Fernandez. Return goes into the front of Andreeva. Fernandez slice in the net. Andreeva with another match point. Now she serves again. And Fernandez misses the return. Andreeva is into the semis. She's going to take on Sabalenka or Baptiste. Fernandez had another good run, though. Another good run, losing to a top 10 player on clay. And it was a competitive match. She definitely had a chance there to take that first set. Probably should have taken the first set with the set points. But Andreeva gets it done. And she is into the semis. Considering yesterday she was like, I'm going to lose this match. I'm not going to win. She wins that match. She wins today. She's into the semis on Thursday. So great mental recovery from Andreeva. All right, Tsitsipas with a lovely volley. He's at 40 love. Ruud and Tsitsipas are just holding super easy at the moment. All right, let's merge these streams so we can keep it going. We're going to keep watching the men's match. Jump on over. Good win, though, by Andreeva. Definitely seems like she's maturing in this season and just not letting herself down by getting upset and getting angry and throwing matches away out of frustration, right? But she wins 7-6, 6-3, and she's into the semis. We'll see who she plays later.